and welcome back to another Locked In with T session. I am so glad to have you guys join me once again. I really appreciate it. Thank you. But now, y'all, today is going to be more so of an informative session about locks. So these are mainly for my queens out there who may be just starting their lock journey or thinking about starting your lock journey. I know when I started, and even now, y'all, I have no idea what to expect my hair to be doing. I just kind of go with the flow, and I'd be like, oh, that's a little weird, but whatever. But honestly, I just decided to okay, maybe I need to sit down and maybe I need to research and kind of get an idea of what my hair is actually supposed to be doing versus just kind of oh well. Because if I research it and I know the different stages that my hair is supposed to go through, I can then know oh, okay, well, this is normal because this is one of the stages that's going to go through. So then I know, oh, okay, well, it's doing what it's supposed to do. Versus, something happening and then I don't know the stages and it's not supposed to happen and I might need to get it fixed, or I can prevent the issue from happening again. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, guys, take you through the different stages of your lock journey. Everybody's journey is different, so you might not go through this exactly how I say it, but at least you can get an idea of what your locks are supposed to go through. So with that being said, let's get into it. So if you see me having to look down a lot, it's because I took notes. I just want to make sure that I'm giving you guys all the right information and that I'm not missing out on anything. So with that being said, stage 1 is your baby phase. It's your starter stage. So this happens once you've had your locks installed, and now it's time for your first retie, retwist, comb coil, whatever method you use. That very first time is when you're really entering that baby stage, that starter stage. Now, most people, including myself, most people really don't like this stage, y'all. It's more so one of those stages where most people call it the ugly phase. Some people don't like to think of that, but most people call it the ugly phase. It's a time where most people will get rid of their locks because they see the type of maintenance that they're gonna have to go through. They don't want to go through the phase as long as you have to go through it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So this is also the stage where your locks will start to shrink up a lot or become very frizzy. So this is definitely the determining stage as to whether you want to continue your lock journey or not. Now, on average, this lasts up to 6 months, but it kind of depends on the person. So if your hair is type A or type B, type C, it really just depends on what type of hair. It also depends on your hair routine. For example, person A could have one type of texture hair, and they also have an extensive hair care routine, versus person B not having as much of an extensive hair routine and a different texture hair. Person A might get out of stage 1 quicker than person B, or vice versa. So it really just depends on your hair type and your hair routine. That kind of determines how long you'll stay in that phase. All right, guys, so before we move on to the next step, make sure that you give me a thumbs up. Also, make sure that you drop some comments, especially if you are in your starter stage, your budding stage, whatever stage you're in, y'all. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know your struggles. I can tell you my struggles, and we can be in this together, okay? And if you like this type of content, definitely make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned for more content like this, and also so we can beat this YouTube algorithm. Okay guys, so moving on to stage 2. Stage 2 is budding. Now, budding is going to cause your hair to be more frizzy. It's where you start to see the bumps or the lumps throughout your locks, and it's very unruly. So the budding can be seen anywhere on your lock. It doesn't have to be in one spot. So it can be more so towards your ends. It can be in the middle of your lock. It can be more towards your root. So just make sure that you know that budding, don't look for it in one place. It can happen literally anywhere along your locks. Most people do not like this stage, but it can last up to 6 to 12 months. Now, if you do have longer locks, you can experience budding a little bit more or longer than a person with short locks. So your budding stage could be more closer to a year versus someone with shorter hair. Could last 6 months. Now, that's not always the case, but if you do have longer locks, you could experience the budding stage longer than someone else. who has shorter locks. Now, with this stage, a lot of people like to, I've seen where they try to like comb it out and then retwist it or rebraid it, whichever method that you use. But the best thing to do is really just keep your hands out of your hair, let it do what it do, and just embrace the journey, y'all. Just embrace the stage, embrace the journey. It'll be over before you know it. Just know that you're beautiful from the inside out. Period. That's all I got to say. Just period. Just period. 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 All right, so moving on to stage 3. Okay, stage 3 is like the teenage stage, and your hair sort of acts like a teenager. And we all know how teenagers is. You tell them to do something, they get a little attitude, and 9 times out of 10 they're gonna do the opposite of what you want them to do. So for example, like this is where your haze this is where your hair kind of enters that like awkwardness stage, and it typically acts like a teenager. It really doesn't do what you actually want it to do. So the best way to kind of handle this is just to really try different hairstyles. So if you're wearing your hair down and your locks aren't doing what they're supposed to do, they're acting like a teenager, giving you attitude, giving you pushback or whatever, you know. Just try different hairstyles. Maybe if you wearing it down, wear it up some, do some type of braid out style or braid up style so that you can kind of keep your hands out of it, so you're not manipulating your locks as much. And this stage could last about 12 to 18 months. Okay, 12 to 18 months. So just kind of hang in there, just try different hairstyles. If you don't like the way it's looking one style and it's not doing what it's supposed to do, just try different styles, y'all, and try to keep your hands out of it. Because I know I can get annoyed when my hair doesn't do what it's supposed to do, even though I haven't made it to my teenage years yet. Sometimes in this little baby stage, /bunny stage, whatever I'm in, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So putting it up in a ponytail can be easier, and I don't keep like messing with it and causing extra frizziness and all of that. So y'all keep your hands out of it and just let the teenager do what it's gonna do, because eventually it's gonna get into that, you know, they're gonna get into the little 20, 21 stage where they got a little bit more idea on what life is, and they'll listen just a little bit better. Okay, so when they hit that 2021 phase, y'all, they're gonna be moving on to step 4, which is more so the mature stage. And a lot of people are really starting to love their locks during this stage. This is basically their turning point for your locks. So this is where they start to look a lot smoother. You're not in that budding phase anymore. It starts to look smoother, and they're actually like doing what you want them to do. And also like at your roots, they won't be like as unruly as they were before, and you won't feel like you have to like retwist them like more often just to get that tamed look. And this stage could last up to 15 to 18 months. Again, depending on the different circumstances of the person. Could be longer, could be shorter, you don't know. But on average, 15 to 18 months. And then the very, 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 very last stage, which is what we all look forward to. Like, well, I'm pretty sure if you're thinking about getting locks, or you are very, very early on in your lock journey, I'm pretty sure when you looked at pictures, you looked at these people who's been in their lock journey for years and years and years, and their hair is just like, oh my God! Wow! And their hair is long, and it's basically giving what it's supposed to give, okay? They are in the rooted stage, which is the very, very, very last stage, which is stage 6, okay? The rooted stage, with the rooting stage, you just want to continue the lock journey. I'm sorry, I cannot talk, okay? With the rooted stage, you want to continue your lock routine that you've been doing, because I'm pretty sure you've kind of played around by this point and got like a set routine. You want to keep up that routine, because clearly you've made it to this final stage and you're doing something right, guys, okay? And on this stage, your locks are going to be looking a little bit slimmer. They're going to be more like weighty, and honey, you're going to have that long hair, so all this shrinkage is going to drop, and when you walk, honey, it's going to sway, okay? Stiff well, woo, stiff well. Just kidding. So this is the stage that we are all like longing for. This is what the whole journey is about, okay? Well, guys, that is all that I have for you. I've taken you through the 6 stages of your lock journey. So if you're just starting your lock journey, or maybe you're thinking about starting, I hope this video definitely help you kind of understand and know kind of like what to look forward to. And if you're hitting these steps, that you know that your hair is going in the way that it's supposed to, and you're gonna be at that rooted stage before you know it, guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, allow those push notifications so that you can do what? Yes, so that you can stay locked in with T.